Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Justice Society of America, issue number 8 by Geoff Johns, Fernando Pasarin, who is the artist in this book, and Rodney Ramos. Cover by Alex Ross. This is Liberty Belle, formerly known as Jessie Quick. And basically, this is her story, and part of her story. So we see more like what they are doing, having from Monday till Friday, fighting bad guys, having fun, arresting people, doing some good, right? And also snowboarding. And she talks about that she and our man are both members of the Justice Society of America, and her husband is Rick Tyler. They are married and they're having fun, and also, but then we have, what's happened in the past. And she says, his present, well, like a honeymoon present, was a weekend in the Aspen. Pretty cool, huh? It goes from the outside. I guess from the outside, my life must look perfect. But it's not. It's never has been. So this is Johnny Quick. Johnny Quick is, spoiler, passed away. We see it in here how it had happened. And he's basically teaching her to use her powers, right? She's she's how do you say, using the mathematically formula to tap into her speed powers, but she's not quick enough. And she says, sorry, Dad. It's all right, Jess. It took me years to achieve the kind of concentration required for this. But once I mastered the mathematical formula, I discovered my full potential. Johnny Quick, the fastest tickler alive. And he's actually a great dad, although not without faults, as we're going to see here. They're talking about the formula, and he says, it's just not the formula itself, Jesse. It's a state of mind, a mantra for tapping into the power I believe you possess, just like me and your mother. And then the mother comes in and says, hey, what's going on down here, right? And she says, hey, why aren't you in school? And she says, well, Dad phoned in and we did some tests here. I thought it was a good day for some homeschooling. Stop filling her head with this stuff, Johnny. So mother is not really happy with that. She was formerly Liberty Belle in the, why am I blanking? Squadron. Oh my God. I'm coming back to that a little bit later. Oh, come on. You're still telling me you believe that the Liberty Bell ringing is what made you as strong as a battleship and capable of emitting supersonic attacks? The sound of that bell is your mantra, just like the formula is mine. You picture it in your head and hear it in your ears, and you release your fullest potential. You unleash a power deep inside you. You build on your own self-worth. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Stop, Johnny. Just stop with all of this nonsense. And she says that she never understood how her power works. And he says, you should. I don't need to. Yes, you do. Is this Stardom? Why am I forgetting this superhero? I have books of them. All-Star Squadron. Right, that was it. Right? Ever since the squadron disbanded, you've been obsessed with converting everyone to your ways of thinking. Why do you think Hank and his wife stopped coming over? So he's, making excuses. And she says, he was being nice, Johnny. Like all of our friends have tried to be. As much as you're complaining about Max Mercury pushing his theories about a speed force to you, that's exactly what you're doing to our daughters, to our friends and our daughter. Max Mercury's speed force is an absurd concept, Libby. It's unquantifiable and unproven. My formula works. So yeah, he's basically the scientist guy that doesn't believe in anything else, and therefore he's right and everything else is wrong. Well, in the end, Max Mercury was right, and the speed force was proven as the source of his powers eventually, that we're gonna, and we're gonna explain that a little bit later. So, but then this conversation gets a little bit out of hand. And you using our daughter to prove that? Is that it? All because a dozen of the world's top scientists laughed in your face? I'll show them they're wrong. Jessie has the potential to tap in both of our powers, your strengths and my speed. She just needs to find her mantra, right? And she says, reciting a string of letters and numbers won't make you better than you already are, Jessie. Don't tell her that, Libby. Don't take away her hope to become something special. And the look of her face, she already is special, Johnny. Jesse, I didn't mean it that way. And so he realized he screwed up. And then a year later, they are, she and him divorced. And that, did some heavy damage to Jesse. And she's taking on the mantles, the mantle of her father, become Jesse Quick, right? And but then her mom is still making contact with her, but she says, so she says that she's joining the Justice Society and the GLA, the GLA, right, becoming a superhero and making the formula perfect and becoming a part of the Mystery Man, and that summer, like the formula was perfect. And that summer, I swore my life would stay that way. I cut everything that wasn't perfect. I cut everything that wasn't perfect. I cut out of it. And she said, if it wasn't perfect, it wasn't in my life. I didn't want my mom or her powers. Now, this was the part that Johnny Quick died. This was the part that he was killed in action, and then her full potential was unlocked, right? And it's been revealed that the power was coming from the Speed Force. He died protecting me from a psychotic speedster obsessed with controlling it. So this woman that killed her was actually, if I remember correctly, Lady Flash. And she was some kind of an ex-fling of Wally West, that was at that time the Flash, because Barry Allen died in the Crisis. Barry took over the mantle and became the Flash, and she was some kind of a crazy ex-girlfriend calling herself Lady Flash. But then a very strong superpowered villain came called Savitar. He was the god of speed and basically was brainwashing this girl. I forget her name, and she was ordering. Savitar was ordering to kill Jesse. Johnny comes in and sacrifices his life for her, unlocking her full potential, and she's beating the living crap out of her. That's how it went. It was great. Savitar's villain. The whole storyline was fantastic in The Flash. But then later, it seems that Zoom is running amok, and this is not Professor Zoom it's not the Zoom from Barry Allen. This is another Zoom. He was a police profiler. He was a friend of Wally. He was crippled, and then some kind of accident made him to Zoom, and his whole thing was torturing heroes, therefore making them better by breaking them down. That's his shtick. That was his MO. He was great, and he was not really super speed. He can do something with time. I forgot how it works, but it was really interesting. So they're going after Zoom, right? So the whole Justice Society. But then they are welcome. They are here at the border of Georgia state, and I didn't know what's happening here at the time, because Green Lantern says, "This is as far as you go, damage. We're at the Georgia state line." I can read Green Lantern. Then your involvement stops here. I'm sorry, son. You know what Zoom did to me, and you know what you did to Atlanta. Yeah, I know. So he's blasting away. So it seems that he promised the state of Georgia to never step over the state line again, and they agreed not to charge him. Charged him for what? When he first started out, he lost control of his powers, and he blew up half down Atlanta. All right, I didn't know that. Meanwhile, their honeymoon is still going on, and it seems that Tyler's now a little bit overcompensating. He's being the nice guy, talking to everyone, right, helping people with with problems on school, and getting in contact with certain people that can help them out. And she's just looking at him, all lovey-dovey. He says, "What? Nothing." And right, but then they're getting a call from the Justice Society, right? And Jesse, Rick, I hate to bother you two in the middle of your trip. What's up, Power Girl? The Justice League had a run-in with Zoom a few days ago in Keystone, and we're lucky we caught up with them. Zoom? We've been chasing him for the last hour. Is Grant there? Yeah, Damage followed him right into Atlanta, and Zoom went at it. Atlanta? Grant can't. We know, Jesse. We tried to tell him. We got now a hostage situation. Zoom has Damaged hostage? Try the other way around. Okay, that's pretty cool. So later, so we see a lot of press, cops, firemen, try to clear the building, right? And so Jesse and our man are here. So I don't know, they took the sonic boom flight to come here to Atlanta, I guess. I'm not sure how it works. Teleported probably. Damage refused to talk to us, but there's a chance he listened to you two. You've kind of taken under your wing. And what I mean is, he does more than mumble when he's with you. Damage isn't a bad kid. I know he's not, our man, but this is just about him. Damage was outlawed in the state because he blew up half of downtown Atlanta by accident. This time, the city hasn't even fully evacuated yet. And this time, he could do something on purpose. If his fuse lights, we're talking hundreds of thousands minimum. And she says, I'll go. And Tyler says, no, what? No, I'm coming with you. And she says, no, I'm going to do this alone. We don't want to be, overwhelming him, right? And he says, Zoom isn't there too, babe. You're not Jesse Quick anymore. And she's doing the touching her heart. And so the whole Liberty Belle with a crack in it, I think this is more symbolic. Like, just a guess, that she's still healing, maybe from, the death of her dad, or maybe she's tried to overcome a certain fear. So her heart is maybe still cracked, maybe now whole now, who knows. So there she's going in, and then we see Damage is getting a hold of Zoom, and he says, I've built enough energy. You move me at all, you even vibrate out of my grip, and it's be like pulling a pin from a grenade. So Zoom says, before I wore this uniform, I was a police profiler. I studied the Flash's rogues. They're more complicated than most people think. So are you. I don't understand what you are saying. I told you we would be a stronger superhero if you survived. I told you when I broke the freedom fighters in your face. Do you remember? Today, wherever you know what the cost... Today you must know the cost of your revenge is. You explode, you kill me, you kill thousands more. Nothing you say matters to me, Zoom. Then listen to me, Damage. So Jesse is here, and she says, what are you doing here, Liberty Belle? Jesse Chambers, Flash wannabe. Shut up. She says, this isn't the way to deal with Zoom. You know what he did to my face. Your face isn't who you are. I'm a horror show under here. I broke every apartment, a mirror in my apartment. I can't look in them. I know I'm never going to be going with a girl again, Jesse. No one's ever going to stomach what I am. And so she says, when Captain Nazi rips off your mask, I saw your face. What did I do? You're different. I'm not different as you think. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You and our man. You like the perfect couple, always laughing and smiling. I wasn't perfect when I lost my speed. You didn't lose your speed, Jesse. You feel unworthy. You gave it to the Flash and severed your connection with the Speed Force. So, and then she's saying that she is, she wasn't feeling that she wasn't be Jesse Quick anymore because she felt like she was undeserving, right? And therefore lost her power. So the whole mantra thing with the formula was more like believing in yourself, and the formula activates that power, and if you're not believing in yourself, you're gonna lose that power. Probably that's how it works. So she says, my mom confronted me at the brownstone a few months later, wanted to know why I quit, if she could help. And so she said something awful, against her mom, because he was divorcing her dad. So she had a really hard time with that, right? And I was always striving to be perfect. I expected everyone else to be perfect too. Rick didn't understand why. He drew this on a piece of paper, and he said, just because something has a crack in it doesn't mean you throw it away. That became my new mantra, and my dad was right. All the powers my mother had, I did too. So, but then it says, well, I'm more than a crack. What my father did to me, or foster father did to me, was more than a crack. Being outlawed from my hometown is more than a crack. This is more than a crack. It doesn't have to be. It really doesn't. And then suddenly he just powers down, which, this is probably my biggest gripe here. That is, it was a little bit too easy. So just because he said something like this and then, oh yeah, it's actually, that's true. So I'm powering down. It's a little bit too easy, right? But then Zoom takes, full advantage of his weakness, quote unquote. You too soft on him, Jesse. Like Wally West, he needs tragedy to overcome. He doesn't need a baby sister. Damage will never succeed. He's a failure like you to your father. I put him out of his misery. And you're next. Also, I don't like the domino mask. It's way too thin. This is how a domino mask should look. Thicker, more must, instead of this thin line. So, yeah. It's not going to be good. Or does it? So she activates her dad's powers, saves Grant. He looks like, what? And she's taking him out. She's so he's unconscious. That was awesome. Yeah. I thought you said you didn't deserve the speed. I got over it. It's simple like that. And then, so the police comes and says, hey, we need you put under arrest. And then she says, with all due respect, officer, if you arrest him, you arrest me. And then, the rest of the GSA is saying the same thing, which is BS, of course. So just because of a couple of superheroes said that, oh, you can arrest me too, then the cops let him go, which they actually do, which just doesn't make any sense. And, well, the ending is that they are going to, I don't know, on a vacation trip with everybody and they're having some fun. And that's the end. I like the ending, don't get me wrong, but, this whole get over it in 2 seconds and then police letting them go without any resistance, that seems BS to me. That being said, I'm still liking this comic, and the whole Liberty Belle storyline here is fun. It could have been fleshed out a little bit better, like it's certain plot armor is here, but seeing Damage, tackling Zoom, which was really nice. Normally it's the big guys that tackle Zoom, like Wally West and Superman and other heroes, so that was a nice touch. Overall, I like it. Could be better. On to the next one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.